right, so I got this friend, and he's got this Model A Roadster, and it's all in parts, right? And I think it's really cool. And I'll put a link in the description bar. Some of his ideas for the engine include from the more interesting all the way through to the, I won't say mundane, because, to put a flathead 4-cylinder back to original, having a Model A in such a configuration actually is no longer mundane, especially if you take the particular flathead 4-cylinder and you work to sort of soup it up as much as a person, say, could in the early to mid 1930s. I think that's pretty sweet. Kind of figuring out the period correct tricks that a hot rodder would go ahead and do. My philosophy on that is, that particular vehicle, I would stay period correct as well. However, my personal dream for one of those vehicles is to actually put, say, a Lincoln flathead V8 that is year correct, within a couple years or earlier of the actual model of the vehicle. Just some of that Bonnie and Clyde shit, or to actually get one of Clyde's preferred Lincolns from that era, and just kind of duplicate or replicate a Bonnie and Clyde vehicle of choice. I think that shit's really cool, and that's what winds my clock with that stuff. I'm with you about, putting a Chevy 350 in them's definitely been done, although there is a place for it. If you want to talk about reliability and just good, decent power, then I don't think that's a terrible option. But who's to tell you what to do on that shit? Your idea of making it electric, the idea of making it electric is extremely interesting. But now, how about this? Like, when we're talking about making it electric, are you thinking like pseudo-modern? What about doing the equivalent of what would make it electric for the 1930s? Getting some sort of weird dynamo electric motor, and then having a couple of wooden-cased batteries, like out of a pre-World War II submarine or some shit. How freaking cool would that be, I think it would be really interesting. I don't know how safe or practical or expensive it would be, but, in this era of, where these rat rods, which is interesting that the rat rods have evolved the way that they have evolved. It went from having kind of a clunker with some Boyd rims to these really, I don't want to say the term cobbled together, but, they're like garage engineered components. I subscribe to the Drive channel on YouTube, and they had, was it the Drive channel did one? Freaking Jay Leno's Garage had a video about one, and what they're doing is they're taking these old chassis and they're putting like fire truck engines in them from back in the day, or tractor engines back in the day. Like this one guy, he's in California, and it's actually a tractor that he's made into a car. The thing's just a freaking beast. And the shifter's like really tall, and it has a grenade on on the little handle that you can't even reach. I think that stuff's just cool as shit. I mean, that's what I get down on. It's not always about just the modern. Modern cars have their place to be. Make no mistake about it. But we're talking about this particular 31 Model A Roadster. The Toyota 4-cylinder engine option with your buddy was talking like R22. It's actually a 22R. meaning a 2.2 liter. I don't know what the R stands for, but it's the same 4-cylinder that they put in like the pickup trucks. And I don't think the Celica one was that big. The Celica, like a Toyota Celica, an older one, would be like a 2 liter. But then later on they had the RE, which was a really good motor. But you can get a lot of power out of those engines, and it'd be really surprising, and it'd be different. But I just want to say that's really cool stuff. Now, paint job wise, when you were talking about metal flake and the same sort of flame theme that you have on your other vehicles, I think that's cool. It's definitely cool. Whenever I think of Model A Roadster, or any Model A or the 30s or any vehicles in the early 40s, like we're talking really early 40s because we didn't build very many cars in the 40s. For some reason, in my mind's eye, those cars that have those those really smooth lines and bulbous fenders and everything, I love the canary yellows when they do them like that, or the beige, that sort of thing. I'm not really thinking like, for me, the hot rod doesn't always have to pop on the outside to just be the balls. They got, you take a Model A Highboy and you got that really aggressive rake. It's, like the angle that it sits. I think that's really cool stuff. So yeah, seven minutes of me rambling about the Ford Model A. That's time well spent. That is really time well spent. All right. We'll see y'all later.